If you feel someone should do something to make this world a better place, it might as well be you. And this thought occurred to me when an incident changed my life completely. It was life-defining. And here I'm going to tell you my story. So I'm Bharati Trivedi, a sexuality educator, psychologist, a graphologist, and a career counselor. I come from a small town, a small hill station called Panchkani. And I was here 28 years ago in this big city of Mumbai. We call it a city of dreams. Well, for me, coming to this city was a culture shock, but well, my journey will tell you that, well, nothing is impossible. If I can, you all can. In the year 2017, I got a call from a very dear friend who was also into sexuality education, and she told me that, I was doing a lot of free workshops. So she said, there is this municipal school. Would you like to go and do some sexuality education programs? The girls really require this information. So I said, yes, why not? I'll definitely go. She said, they're not going to pay you much, no remuneration. I said, perfectly all right. I want to create awareness. And then one fine day in the month of July, I was sitting in the office of the principal of the municipal school to jot down the dates for the workshop on sexuality education. And there walks in one young girl into the office, all perturbed, disturbed. And she just tells the principal, Madam, मैं घर जा रही हूँ, अभी 4 दिन स्कूल नहीं आऊँगी. So the principal was really looking at her and said, अभी तो स्कूल शुरू ही है, आपको घर क्यों जाना है? So she said, Madam, मुझे periods आए. So the principal immediately said, शायद आपके पास आपके पास sanitary napkin नहीं होगा, मैं अभी busy हूँ, आप क्लास टीचर के पास जाइए और आपका sanitary napkin ले लीजिए. Friends, what she said next, I still get goosebumps. I was shell-shocked. She just turned around and says, Madam, सवाल sanitary napkin का नहीं है, मेरे पास underwear ही नहीं है. How did you feel? I still get goosebumps. I just couldn't believe it. I said, oh my God, why is this girl telling lies? My first reaction was, she's telling lies. How can she not have an underwear? Because it is one piece of cloth which is put on you when you are born till you die. That one piece of cloth is on you. And here she's telling she doesn't have an underwear. My first thought was also that, she wants to go home, she wants to miss her class, she wants to miss her friend, meet her friend, or she has some problem at home. But why did she say something like this? And everything went back in flashback, because for years I've been doing sexuality education workshops, talking about menstrual hygiene, period poverty, adolescent issues, prevention of child abuse. And especially when I'm taking workshops on menstrual hygiene and on periods, I'm telling the girls, you should be wearing cotton underwears, you should be changing twice a day. And here is this girl saying she doesn't have an underwear. I've missed out something. I was angry at myself. I said, oh my God, why didn't I ever think about this core problem? I mean, an underwear? Basic feminine need called an underwear? Anyway, I asked the principal, can I please go and talk to her? Because the principal had reprimanded her, she went back to the class. I asked her that, I went to the class. Principal said, yes, please, you can talk to her. I went running behind her. And in the classroom, all the girls gathered, They thought that I've come to talk to all of them. So I asked this girl, आपने इतना बड़ा झूठ क्यों बोला? आपने ऐसा क्यों कहा कि आपके पास अंडरवेयर नहीं है? आपको दूसरा कुछ नहीं सूझा बोलने के लिए? कुछ एक्सक्यूज? She said, मैडम, मैं क्यों झूठ बोलूं? हमारे घर में हम लोग 4 औरतें हैं और हमारे पास 2 ही अंडरवेयर है, हम शेयर करते हैं. Have you ever heard about anybody sharing underwear? It's too personal and too private. With our mothers will share a dress with the daughter. They will eat in one plate. They will share cosmetics. They will share everything. But will you guys share an underwear? No way. Another girl, she's telling me, madam, 4 ही दिन का तो सवाल है, मैं तो मेरे पिताजी का अंडरवेयर पहन लेती हूँ. अरे आपके पिताजी के पास अंडरवेयर है, आपके पास नहीं है. Another girl, she was little short. She's telling me, madam, मैं तो है ना मेरे छोटे भाई का पहन लेती हूँ और स्कूल ही नहीं आती हूँ. And that was something which hit me real hard. Because I started mentally calculating. I said, oh my God, an underwear depriving a girl child from education because she's missing 4 days a month, that means 48 days in a year, and then she ultimately drops out of school. Oh my God. The only way to empower girls and women is education. Yes or no? Yes. And here is a girl who's going to drop out because she doesn't have an underwear? Is that the reason? I mean, shame on us if you didn't realize this, okay? I just couldn't listen to any more. The girls were too eager to talk about everything. I just ran back to the office. Honestly, I forgot why I was in the office. I had come there to take the dates for the workshop, and I just stood there. I did not sit. I just asked the principal, आपकी स्कूल में कितनी लड़कियां हैं? So she said, madam, 800-900 लड़कियां हैं, because cluster of BMC school mediums are different. She said 800-900 लड़कियां. I said okay. She didn't know what I was talking about. I just told her, madam, ये सब लड़कियों को underwear मैं दूंगी, and I just walked out. I was so disturbed, angry, felt helpless. I was driving the car on the highway. I just stopped. I said, oh my God, so unprofessional of me. What did I go for? I had gone to offer my services. I called up the principal and said, ma'am, I'm so sorry for just leaving like that, but I promise you I'll come back. I'll come back and do the workshops. I went back home. I had sleepless nights. For days I did not sleep. The only thought in my mind that kept going was, what is it that can I do for the girls of my country? Forget the country, first about my city. If this is the condition of the girls in my city, can you think about what is in the rural, in the Adivasi girls and the women, what are they going through? I was wondering that I kept telling myself, what if I don't wear an underwear in a day? Can I go out? Do I step out? What happens to my self-esteem? What happens to my confidence? I mean, is one small piece of cloth playing havoc in the girls' lives? I kept thinking. I was like shaking off from my bubble. I was too comfortable. For years I've been doing workshops in schools, in colleges, talking about menstrual hygiene, period poverty, adolescent issues, everything. And I never thought about this. I felt sad, ashamed of myself. What was I doing? What was I feeling proud about? What was the awareness I was creating? Zero. I put up a post on Facebook writing about this story, and I told all my friends, please give me 100 rupees. I want to give 4 underwears to each of these girls. And believe me, I got so much of hate calls, hate mails, hate messages. क्या बकवास कर रही है यार? इतना झूठ क्यों बोल रही है? ऐसा कभी होता है क्या कहीं कि किसी के पास अंडरवेयर नहीं होती है? Because we take it for granted, no? Assuming everybody has an underwear. I said, yes, y'all are absolutely right. I take that. Yes, the way y'all are thinking is right. Because had I not been on that day, at that particular moment there, maybe I wouldn't have realized the grievances of this problem. And I would have reacted exactly the same way you guys are reacting. Anyway, I went searching for underwears in the local stores. And I said, something must be done. I just can't sit anymore doing nothing about it. And I found out that there is no underwear below 36 rupees. So 36 into 4 is not 100, and I don't honestly have that kind of money. So I called up, I remember that I had done workshops for some school many years back, for a school where I'd started good touch, bad touch, safe touch, unsafe touch for 3 years old. Till grade 10th, I had done workshops for that school, and the trustee of that school had a factory where they used to make hosiery material, which is used for making underwears. I called up sir. I said, sir, I need your help. So he said, yes, you're talking about your story on Facebook? I read about it. Tell me how I can help you. So I said, sir, please connect me with some wholesaler or a manufacturer of underwears. So he said, my son is taking care of it. I'm giving you his number. Please call him up. I'm sure he'll help you. I called up his son and I told him briefly, and he told me, give me 10 minutes, I'll call you back. He did not call me for 2 hours. He sent me one number from Dharavi, master tailor. I was like, why did he send me a master tailor's number? What am I going to do with this? I called him up. I said, sir, you have sent me a master tailor's number. He said, he's going to stitch you one underwear for 17 rupees. I said, great. But what about the material? So he said, come to my factory. I went to the factory. I told him the story, and he was shell shocked. He said, we are manufacturing material since 30 years, and we never realized that the material which is used to make underwears, the girls are not getting the underwears. They cannot afford it, or whatever the reason is. He gave me 40 kilos of material free. I came back a happy person, and I called up the tailor. The tailor asked me, because I wanted to know, it was in Dharavi. I just mentioned I'm from Panchgani, I've never been to Dharavi. So I asked him how to come. So he asked me, do you have a trust deed? And fortunately, just in 2016, I had started my trust and not much work had been done on that. So I said, yes, I have a trust deed. So he's saying, please get it. Aap leke aana trust deed. I said, theek hai. I called up my husband who's a lawyer, and I asked him, where is the trust deed? He's saying, who wants it? I said, oh, a tailor. I said, oh, I thought somebody is giving you a CSR fund. No. So the tailor, he's saying, why would a tailor want your trust deed? I said, anyway, I want to take it. He's asked for it. I took a friend of mine and we drove to Dharavi. It is like a maze. We reached his workshop, and he was making branded underwears. We sat down in his office. I told him the story, and he had tears in his eyes. With folded hands, he's telling me, and I gave him the trust deed. When I gave him the trust deed, he's saying, I'm so sorry, madam, मेरे से गलती हो गया. I said, क्यों? आपने मांगा, मैं लेके आई. So he's saying, नहीं मैडम, यहाँ बहुत सारी औरतें आती है, कहती है NGO चलाती है, अंडरवेयर सस्ते में लेके जाती है और बेचती है. I said, मैं अंडरवेयर बेचने वाली दिखती हूँ आपको? मैं प्रोफेशनल हूँ, ठीक है? You won't believe what he did next. He took 100 branded underwears and he gave it to me with tears rolling down his eyes. He's saying, ma'am, आप मेरी बच्चियों को देने वाले हैं? 20 साल से फैक्ट्री चला रहा हूँ, मुझे पता ही नहीं चला कि मेरी लड़कियों के पास अंडरवेयर नहीं है. I came back home and I said, this is something. This has to be made. I mean, I have to reach out to more and more girls. I decided to make it a movement, make it a pan-India movement, where not a single girl in my country will be deprived of an underwear. I decided to give it a name. But before that, I must tell you that I did a lot of research also. That why is it that, I'm sure this question must be in all your minds, that women, girls, no matter from which social society they may be coming from, but I'm sure everybody has a mobile phone, they have TV in their house, they have fridge in their house. How is it that they don't have an underwear? Yes or no? So now let me tell you that, when I was speaking to girls or did my own survey, and I realized that who doesn't like to look good? The migrant workers the daily wage earners, their children, their parents would rather give their children a vada pav or a treat or a lay packet of wafers, but they wouldn't invest in an underwear, which they have so many children in the house and there's so many members in the family. They would rather treat their children with something and not invest in something which is not seen. Because today every girl, every woman, or rather every man would like to look nice, right? So I would rather buy a 100 rupee top, which looks very nice. What I wear inside is immaterial, right? Now, another thing is that I also noticed it is about priority and it is about awareness. The girls, there are around 85% of menstruating girls who do not have even one underwear to call their own. They do not have access to sanitary products and they do not have means or money to get information on sexual health or menstrual health. And before, around 73% of the girls, they don't even know about periods till they get one, and by the time they get one, they get their periods, they drop out of school. So how are they going to be educated? How are we going to create awareness and priority? So when I thought of then, when I came back, I realized that the need to give an underwear is mine. How can I just tell these girls, yellow, you don't have an underwear? Wear it. No. I'm a woman, I'm a girl. I would love everybody to respect me and my body, right? So I said, just giving an underwear is not the solution. So I decided to make a movement out of this thought of mine. And I named this whole movement Kavach. Kavach, a movement, protection against social stigma. I made a Kavach kit with 4 underwears, 4 packets of sanitary napkin, 8 sanitary napkins in each packet. I put a khadi towel. Khadi towel because my mother-in-law was a Gandhian. She's written a lot of books. She always wore khadi. Secondly, I realized that if the girls in the family are sharing underwears, I'm sure the whole family is sharing one towel. I wanted one towel for each girl. And then I put a bathing soap and a washing soap, and so was made my Kavach kit. When I started a lot of people told me when the Kavach kit was ready that these people will sell the Kavach kit. They will sell the khadi towel. I said, good. Bikega to khadi bikega. Or I wanted something made in India, make in India. And I distributed those Kavach kits to the 800 girls. And then seeing my work, the Municipal Corporation of Mumbai gave me permission for the distribution of the Kavach kits and doing the workshops for 1100 schools across Mumbai. And my Kavach kits, I pack myself, I get everything. I have a small team and I am doing workshops span Maharashtra. I'm working with 28 Adivasi villages, 4 schools, 2 colleges and 1 hospital. So that is about another thing which is very important to just bringing to your notice is that about the underwear, coming back to the underwear, is that during whenever there is festival, there are birthdays in our families or any event, we generally give even our staff, we distribute sweets, we give gifts. But do anybody give underwears? We don't give underwears. Do we give used underwears? No. So why is this the most important thing? Even before a pad, don't you think it is the most important thing to give? Each one of us can do our bit. So I would suggest all of us, let's do our bit. Let's join the movement and let's all take a pledge today that no girl, no woman in our country will be deprived of the basic feminine hygiene need called an underwear. Can we do that? Secondly, after this was about Kavach, a movement. And I do not distribute the Kavach kits without doing an education program, that is awareness on sexuality education, talking about menstrual hygiene, adolescent issues, and about puberty, and most important about prevention of child abuse. When I'm doing my workshops, and they all know that I'm going to give them some gift. It is always nice to, who doesn't like to receive a gift? But when girls, young girls come and tell me, especially teenage girls come and tell me, because in our talk we are talking about a lot of self-love, self-care and self-defense. So when they come and tell me, and they just give me one hug and they tell me, ma'am, today you told us one thing very important, is that ये शरीर जो है ना हमारा, वो लड़कों को खेलने का खिलौना नहीं है. And it was so beautiful to hear these things from these girls. And from today we will take care of ourselves and we'll make sure. So I make all the girls, not promise, but I tell them that till you are a graduate, do not get married. Make sure that you educate yourself, stand on your own feet and then get married. Irrespective. So indirectly we are doing a lot of work in that. Coming back to my umbrella under Kavach, we started Kavach Janani during the lockdown. So I was getting calls from all the hospitals and isolation centers where they did not have any access to sanitary napkins or adult diapers. And that is when I went to Nair Hospital and the dean told me that, please give me your Kavach kit. I said, no, how can I give you the Kavach kit? What are you going to do with that? So she said, no, I want to give it to, in the month of June 2020, there were 300 pregnant women who had all of the mothers were COVID positive. They had to stay in the hospital for 14 days and there was no mother-in-law, no mother and no husband to take care of them. There were no doctors, there were no nurses. And they did not have a gown on them, they did not have an underwear and they did not have sanitary napkins. Again, I was shaken up. I said, give me just 15 days, I will do something. Again, I just sat down in front of my Radha Rani. I told her, do something now for the women, for my species, rather, no? My sisters and this thing. And I made a Kavach Janani kit with 2 feeding gowns, 4 underwears, reusable sanitary napkins, a khadi towel, soap, protein powder, baby clothes and a small machardani. Distributed more than 1,000 kits there and started distributing all in the Adivasi areas. And till date, I got permission again from the hospital, the municipal hospital, the health department for 28 hospitals across Mumbai. But honestly, because of lack of funds, I'm not able to do that. But yes, in Vajreshwari, that is the Adivasi area, and Panchgani, I started a program for nutrition for pregnant women, where I am giving them breakfast. Once a month we are giving them a hot snack, protein powder and some medication, and we have started that project in Panchgani. I'm working with, during the COVID again, we came across transgenders. I'm working with 7,500 transgender sex workers and HIV positive people. During the lockdown, they came to me and they were committing suicide, so many of them, because they did not have any access to food, because there was no badai happening, no weddings happening, no begging happening, nothing. The trains were shut. The tourist spots were closed, so they did not even have money to have a vada pav. So we distributed around 20 kgs of each grocery kit to each around 5,000 transgenders. We worked with the people working in the crematorium. They were the most neglected ones. Nobody was even looking at them or even touching them. So we helped them. And this is my journey, and I appeal to all of you that please join the movement, and all of you do your bit. And let's all of us, work towards giving a positive period dignity life to the girls and women of our country. And I don't want to talk about the boys for what I'm doing for them, because I'm also doing sexuality education for boys, because it is so important. I'm also giving them kits, because I'll share a small example with you all. So when I used to go to the municipal schools to distribute the kits, so my kits were huge boxes, and what would happen is the secondary school was generally on the 2nd floor. So the principal would tell the boys, yes, jara saman utha ke upar leke jao. Then these girls would come up with my kit, you know, laughing, jumping, and the boys would wait, what have you got inside? So initially they would ask me, what should we tell the boys? So I would say, tell them that it's sanitary napkin, you know. So then so few boys asked me, why aren't you talking to us? Why aren't you giving us something? So I said, you want sanitary napkin? But you know, I got it back one day very badly. A group of boys came to me and said, yes, we want sanitary napkins for our sister and our mother. And I was so happy. So even now when we have volunteers coming from various schools and colleges who come, I make sure that the boys talk about menstrual hygiene about menstruation and periods to their sisters, to their grandmothers, to their masis, and to their friends. And I make them record it, and I make them pack my sanitary napkins. That's the way I want to sensitize the boys to be sensitive towards the females and bring a very healthy society. And when you bring a healthy sexual society, I think it is going to be a beautiful place to live in, right? So thank you so much. Thank you so much.